So if we click the Add Transparent button, this adds a transparent layer and makes the entire object invisible. And so then whatever we paint onto it is all that will show up. So you can see I'm painting right at Suzanne's eye there, and that's all that's pretty much displaying. So this works exactly the same in Blender Render as it does in Cycles. So if we click Cycles, we'll see this looks exactly the same in the 3D viewport. And then if I turn on my quick lights and press my Render Preview button, we'll see that this is all that shows up as well in the Render Preview. But it's kind of hard to see it there, so let's click the Render Preview button to turn that off and press the Object Mode button, and let's press Shift-A and add a torus, S to scale, W a few times to make it smooth, G to grab, middle mouse to bring it up. I'll just hit S and scale this down, and we just want it somewhere where we can tell that this is actually transparent. So I'll click back on the Suzanne head, press my texture paint button, press my render preview button here, and we can see now that all that's showing up here is what we painted on. So I'll press my render preview button off, turn off cycles here, and so an alpha mask layer, what this does, instead of making everything go invisible, it allows you to paint on where you want the invisible to be. So if I were to click X to delete this transparent layer, and say I loaded a brush here, maybe I'll turn off this strength and increase the hardness a little bit. So if we add an alpha mask, this will keep all of our layers, our bump, our specular, all our color layers, whatever we have, and then allow us to paint through it. So I'll click Add Alpha Mask, and initially it doesn't look like anything's changed, but tap space and select my regular draw brush here, and you'll see that we can now draw straight through such that we can see that torus that I forgot that was there inside of Suzanne's head. So I'll press Ctrl Z a few times to undo that and show you something neat we can do. So if we press our Paint Through button, which makes our strokes go all the way through the object, and then the circle tool and increase the hardness and turn off the strength if you're using a stylus, and then we click and drag, it looks very much like we're just taking big chunks right out of whatever object we're doing this through, because it's going all the way through like this. And so the same for if we were to click on the line tool and maybe cut through Suzanne's mouth there a little bit. So this also looks exactly the same in Cycles. If we click our Cycles button, we have exactly showing up what was showing up before. And if we render preview, we will see that everything, the maps are working, whether you're in Blender Render or in Cycles.